So breathing has always been a challenge, and Mum Keisha wants to get to her son as quickly as she can. And the medical team are going to assist Noah away from the racetrack with the aid of a wheelchair.
The end of this race, very different sight than what we saw when he won the 100 meters on Sunday. Lyles breathing heavily. About 10 minutes after finishing the 200, our Lewis Johnson reported that Noah did test positive for COVID. And when we go back and look at some of the backstage shots yesterday before the semifinals for the 200, and even today before the final, you can see him wearing a mask in both. After seeing medical personnel after the race, Lyles came back out to speak with Lewis.
Well, Noah, it was an unfortunate situation to see you there. I reported that you tested positive for COVID 2 days ago. What was your reaction to the diagnosis?
Yeah, I woke up early, about 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and I just was feeling really horrible. And I knew it was more than just being sore from the 100. Woke up the doctors and we tested, and unfortunately it came up that I was positive for COVID. And, my first thought was not to panic. Thinking, I've been in worse situations. I've run with, worse conditions, I felt. And we just took it day by day, trying to hydrate as much, quarantined off. And I definitely say that it's taken its toll for sure, but I've never been more proud of myself for being able to come out here and getting a bronze medal, where last Olympics I was very disappointed, and this time I couldn't be more proud.
Did you ever consider not running the 200 final?
No, I didn't. I just said we were just going to try and quarantine as much as possible, stay away, not trying to, pass it off, and just, to be honest, give it my all. If I wasn't to make it, then somebody would have definitely taken my spot, and that would have been my sign that I, didn't deserve to be in the final.
Okay, now, how does this diagnosis affect your potential availability for the 4x100 meter relay with Team USA?
Yeah, at the moment, I don't know. I'm feeling more on the side of, letting Team USA do their thing. They've proven with great certainty that they can handle it without me. And if that's the case coming off today, then I'm perfectly fine saying, hey, you guys go do your thing. You guys have more than enough speed to be able to handle it and get the gold medal.
Noah, thank you for stopping by to explain it to everyone, and we sure hope you feel better.
All right, thank you, Lewis.
And further on that relay question, a few hours after talking to Lewis, Noah went to social media and added, after giving congratulations and thanks, I believe this will be the end of my 2024 Olympics. It is not the Olympics I dreamed of, but it has left me with so much joy in my heart. I hope everyone enjoyed the show.
3 days later.
I swear, man, certain jokes just write themselves. So we watched Noah Lyles win the 100 meters at the Olympic Games in a fashion we've never really seen in a minute. It was a photo finish that came down to the thousandth of a second, where he ended up taking the victory over Keishane Thompson, where they both ran 9:79. And then the next day after his 100 victory, he came back to run rounds of the 200. Then he ran the semifinals of the 200, where he looked pretty rolled. Then he came back in the final. He got completely obliterated by Oblique Seville and Kenny Benerick, where he finished third place again for the second consecutive Olympics. So 2 bronze medals in his primary event at the Olympics. There was no way he was going out without an excuse. Because if you know Noah Lyles, you know ain't no mystery in his history. Every time he loses a race, there always is an excuse after. The last Olympics, he said he had COVID and he was depressed from Black Lives Matter. He lost to Oblique Seville earlier in the year in the 100. He said they shot the gun too fast. And somehow in this Olympics, when he finished in the exact same place, damn near running the exact same time, he unfortunately has COVID again, like the last Olympics, which was quite interesting to me because he said he tested positive for COVID, but he was still allowed to run. And it was honestly quite curious to me of how he will be allowed to expose hundreds of thousands of people to COVID just for him to go out there and run and get third place. I feel like, firstly, that was selfish of not only him, but for the people in charge who allowed this to happen, because you don't know who immune system is weak or how people bodies take on different things and how they're able to fight it. There could have been a runner out there with a weak immune system who could have contracted COVID and died from it. But selfishly enough, their golden guy, Noah Lyles, he had to be out there running, COVID or not. But I know after the 100, he was probably feeling a bit tired, and they kind of felt like he might not win. And they're shooting a Netflix show, and he couldn't look bad on there. So it was like, you know what? How about you wear this mask? And if you happen to lose, we'll just say you had COVID. And if you win, we'll just say you was just feeling under the weather and you didn't want to like spread anything to nobody. Pre-planned excuse. But of course, 2.5 days later, after expressing and coming out and saying that he has contracted the COVID virus, he took to his Twitter to make a statement and say, "Thank God I am COVID free." And I was really suspicious about this because I was thinking, why would he post a negative test, but he never posted a positive COVID test? People said he had a fever of 102 degrees and he tested positive. Why didn't he post any of that? And I knew I was looking more into it than most people. I said he posted that positive test on a fresh bib. That's not his bib from the 100 because it would have wrinkles in it and creases in it because he ripped it off after running the 100. And it also wouldn't have the pins attached too because the pins were still in his shirt after the 100 when he ripped it off. And then if you pay attention to the 200 when he was in a wheelchair, he ripped that bib off as well. So this clearly was either before the 1 or before the 2 where he tested negative for COVID. So that was my theory that this was a pre-planned excuse because it was before one of those races where his bib was still fresh, still had the pins attached and wasn't ripped off his jersey. So I definitely believe that NBC, Adidas, and USATF all cooked up this pre-planned excuse. He probably came to them and said that he was tired and they probably were going to use a COVID excuse. But I know there's no way if he would have had COVID or tested positive for COVID and they would have actually knew that they would have allowed him to run. There's no chance in hell. And when he posted this yesterday, I said that he's definitely posting this despite not actually having COVID. He's definitely posting this so he can go out to the parties after the Olympics at the Olympic Village and where all the Olympians gonna be, and he can go out and no one's gonna look at him strange like he is a COVID guy. And lo and behold, a video gets sent to me that Noah Lyles is in the club in the middle of the floor dancing at the Olympics. I said certain jokes just literally write themselves because exactly what I assumed that was going to happen happened. I said he's going to play like he has COVID or play like he was sick. And he's going to come out to say that he's no longer sick so he can go out and party. And guys aren't looking at him like, didn't he just say he was sick and things of that nature? But maybe I'm looking too much into it. And that's just really my whole theory about the whole thing. Not to say that it's true, but that's just what I think. Because I've had COVID myself, and I know other people have COVID. And I had treatments and medicine and things of that nature. And when I had COVID, I couldn't smell or taste. And I had COVID for around 10 to 12 days. And it took me about 10 days to test negative for COVID when I had it. And it was also very strange to me that Noah Lyles was the only one in his camp with COVID. His coach didn't have COVID. His mom didn't have COVID. I seen him kiss his girl. His girl didn't have COVID. So where on earth could he have contracted COVID from between the 100 and the 200, which were a day apart with no days in between, where he was the only one who got it? He's been around all of these other people and they don't have it. But like they always say, a fool can fool a fool, but you can't fool the GOAT, Aaron Brown. I definitely know that this was a pre-planned excuse on behalf of NBC and Peacock and USATF, because if you think about it, as soon as he crossed the line in third place, Otto Bowden and Sonia Richards-Ross were in the announcing booth automatically making excuses for bro. So I know they were paid to do so. They know that he had to get all the attention. They tried to take the shine away from Lasile Tobogo, so he had to do this whole pissy fit and lay on the ground and play dead, play like he needed to be sent to the ICU and needed a medical attention immediately, and he needed surgery ASAP. But it wasn't no fooling me. This whole thing was a publicity stunt, if you ask me. And I wholeheartedly believe that this COVID stunt was fake. And he had to announce it on his Instagram and his Twitter so he can go out and party and people wouldn't look at him strange. But y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Am I tripping, or could this be a actual possibility?